Indy and welcome back to my channel. So I have a new story time for you guys. I'm so excited. I've recorded some, but I just haven't edited or posted them. And I honestly don't think I will because I don't really like what's going on in the video. So here is a story time. I'm kind of like at the beginning. So the first half is not really going to have anything to do with the guy. And we're going to name him Sweat. Like Keith. No, ooh, we're gonna name him Keith, like Keith Sweat, because he used to sweat a lot and it honestly grossed me out. But anyhow, this is when I lived in the house with the 4 roommates and I had all guy roommates. So this day, it was kind of like a normal day. Of course, I was in my room all day, chilling, relaxing. And around this time, I didn't have my car anymore, so I either Uber or I would drive the cars in the house. The 2 guys, they would let me drive their cars. So this day I was like, I want to make a good homemade pie. Like, I love a good homemade pie. I make the best. So I was like, I want to cook me some food. So I was looking on DoorDash. I'm like, it's a bit pricey. I'm not trying to do that. So I go in my roommate's room across the hall. And mind you, the last few days leading up to this, me and him were like kind of going back and forth. Not even going back and forth. He just had an attitude. So like I was low-key ignoring him, not paying any mind. So leading up to this, we wasn't really chit-chatting on good terms or whatever. But I didn't think anything of it. Like, I didn't think, you know. So I go on and ask my roommate, I'm like, hey, can I use the car? Can I go to the grocery store or whatever? And he's like, no. And I'm like, well, can you take me to the grocery store? Because I'm thinking like maybe he just don't want me driving the car. I'm like, well, can you take me to the grocery store? He's like, Indy, I really don't want to do that. And I'm like, okay, weirdo. Like, what the freak? Okay, weirdo. So I'm like, all right, that's cool. So I ended up just door dashing it anyway because I'm still about to make my food. Like, you're being weird, but I'm still about to eat. So I door dashed the food and I start making the pot pie. As I'm doing this, he's in his bedroom sleeping. No one else is in the kitchen, living room with me. I'm just out there by myself, you know, doing me. So I get done cooking or whatever. Mind you, I had brought a bag of shredded chicken. So I'm cleaning up my mess in the kitchen. Food's done. I'm about to make my plate, go to my bedroom. My roommate finally wakes up and he comes to the kitchen. He's like, oh, it smells good in here. You cooked or whatever. And I'm not gonna lie. Normally I would be petty, like, oh, but I don't be petty when it comes to food. Like, growing up, that's one thing my mom taught me. You can be mad at somebody, you cannot not like them, but don't like take the revenge out of them like eating. Like, don't let the revenge be like they can't eat or something like that. That's so wrong. Like, so I wasn't gonna say nothing about the food, even though I did pay for it, you know. So I just told him, oh, I don't think I said he could get any of my pot pie, but I was like, there's some shredded chicken in there. If you want it, you can have it. And he's like, okay. So I walk away, you know, I go to my bedroom, I eat my first plate. It's delicious. Mwah, chef's kiss. So I go to the kitchen, I'm throwing my food away. I open the fridge and I seen he had like a bottle of Don Julio because before he had came home earlier, he had went out like he was going on a date or something. I don't know. So I asked him, I was like, how was your date or whatever? He's like, I don't want to talk about it. Like, he was just kind of like giving me the cold shoulder. I don't know, like basically like he don't want to talk to me. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I started walking away to go to my bedroom and he's like, I really wish you would apologize. I really wish you would apologize. This is why he wanted me to apologize. So the original deal when I moved into the house was I would have my own bedroom and my own bathroom. And for the first week or 2, that's what it was. But I guess one of the other roommates, his girlfriend had moved in and they were like sharing the bathroom. So the other roommate and his girlfriend, they had their own bathroom. We had a master bedroom and a master bathroom. That person had their own stuff going on. So the only thing left was me and him sharing. And at first he was using the other bathroom, but then the girls started being there all the time. So he's like, I don't think it's fair that you're the only one with He's like, I don't think it's fair that you have your own bathroom and everyone has to share. The guy in the master bedroom, he didn't have to share. And I'm just like, well, that was the agreement, was I would have my own stuff. He's like, yeah, but So I'm like, all right, whatever. At that time, I was in college, so I had went to school. I come home and there's like little hairs on the toilet seat. And I know they didn't come from me because I don't play that. I clean my bathroom, you know? So I know they didn't come for me. I'm like, hey, you want to use the bathroom? And then that's kind of like when he told me that whole thing, like, oh, I don't think it's fair, blah, blah, blah. So I'm like, all right, cool. I was like, well, that's cool. We can share a bathroom, but can you please make sure that you keep the bathroom clean, because I just don't like, I don't like nasty stuff. I'm a germaphobe. Like, I don't, just make sure you keep the bathroom clean. He's like, okay. I go in the bathroom to take my shower, and I see the little hairs and stuff. And I'm just like, I'm not cleaning it up. I'm not your girlfriend. I'm not your mom. I'm not cleaning after you. Just like, you know, if I went in the bathroom and TMI, but it was my period, I get blood or something on the seat, I'm not going to expect for you to clean it up. And I know y'all saying hair and blood is not the same thing, but it doesn't matter. I don't want to clean up after you. So, mind y'all, I told him 2 times, like, there's already stuff in the bathroom. I told him 2 times that night. He didn't clean up. He didn't do anything about it. Okay, cool. The next morning, I wake up. He's already going at work. I go to the bathroom. It's still there. And at this point, I'm kind of irritated because I know you got up this morning. He always take a shower in the morning. You took a shower. You went to the bathroom. You brushed your teeth. You did X, Y, and Z. But you did not clean off the toilet like I asked you to, because I don't want to, you know? So I texted him while he was at work, and I asked him, I was like, why'd you still leave this? He's like, take a picture and send it to me. I take a picture and send it to him. I guess that made him mad because he thought I wasn't going to do it. So he going to call me talking about some, you're really bothering me while I'm at work about this, blah, blah, blah. Do you know how petty and da, da, da? I don't care. I'm not your man. I'm not your woman. Like, you're not my man. I'm not cleaning up after you. I don't have no problem cleaning up after a man if you're my man, you know? But I live in a house full of grown adults. No one should be cleaning up after anybody. I understand, like, if we're just helping each other out, that's cool. But if you went in there and you deliberately made a mess by yourself, or you did something by yourself, no, I'm not cleaning up after you. No. And he couldn't grasp that. He couldn't grasp that. So he's going off or whatever. He's like, oh, I don't know who you think you are. You keep saying you're a good person. He started coming after my character. That's when I got upset. So he's like, you're saying you're a good person. I don't even know why you go to church. You're wasting your time at church. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what? What? All of this because you didn't clean up your funky hairs off the toilet seat, and I'm telling you about it as a grown man. Mind you, all of these people were older than me. I was the youngest person in the house. Like, what? So when he said that, I clicked on him. After that, that's why the few days leading up to that, we weren't talking, because we were beefing about that. I wasn't even beefing. Go back to the night. He's like, I would really like an apology. I'm like, why would I apologize to you? You were the one who started disrespecting me and saying crazy stuff. When he said, oh, I don't even know why you're going to church. You're not a good person, blah, blah, blah. He's like, because you have to understand where I'm coming from. This guy, the way he was such a manipulative narcissist. Like, oh my God. Like, he was just horrible. I mean, I'm sorry, he wasn't horrible, but like, he had flaws. We all do. But anywho, so he's like, but do you understand where I'm coming from? That was just so wrong of you. And then he had the nerve to say, I feel like you went in there and I feel like you put him on the seat yourself. Shut up. Don't irritate me. So I'm like, why would I do that? Like, do you hear yourself? Like, what are you talking about? He's like, blah, blah, blah. So as we're going back and forth, I'm just telling him like, okay, well, I'm not trying to hear this, because as he's talking, I'm trying to talk and tell him my side, and he's talking about some, shut up, Indy, I don't want to hear you right now, shut up, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, you're not about to talk to me like this. So I start walking away back to my bedroom. He's like, don't walk away. Like, why are you walking away? Mind y'all, there's somebody else here, one of the other roommates. So I'm just like, but it's a guy, and they're also friends, so he's not saying nothing. So I'm just like, bro, I'm not doing this. I'm walking to my room, and he's like, no, come here. So I come back and I hear something else that he's saying. He's saying some more BS and B stuff. And then he tried to tell me, you can get out my face. You can get out my face. And then he kind of like fanned me off, like with his hand, like fanned me off. So when he did that, I walked away. And then he was like, no, no, no. So after he fanned me off, I started walking away and I go to my bedroom. I'm like, okay. And he was like, yeah, you're saying, I was like, okay. And I just started giggling because like, dude, like, you're acting crazy. He's like, okay, you're giggling. You can get out of my house. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, you're giggling, you can get out of my house. So I just go in my room and I shut my door. Mind you, from the kitchen to my bedroom, this is probably how long the hallway was. This is the kitchen, this is my bedroom door, like all the way down here. So I walk all the way down there, I close my door, I'm not trying to hear it. I just hear him fussing in the kitchen. He's just going off. I'm like, okay, whatever. I hear it getting closer. He comes to my bedroom. Mind you, my door's closed. He opens my door. He opens my door so he can yell and talk some more ish to me. And I'm like, bro, are you for real? And now when he gets to my bedroom, he's like, oh, look at you now. Now you all quiet now that I'm here. Now I'm telling you to leave. Now you all quiet. And I'm like, no, I'm honestly, y'all, I was quiet because any other time I would go back and I would argue with you. But at this time, I was like, not for the BS. Like, I was trying to get right with the Lord. You know, I'm trying to not respond with anger. And honestly, every time he yelled at me and stuff a lot. Like, every time he would get out of character, I would never go back and forth with him and have the same energy because it didn't do anything. It didn't do nothing. So he's like, now you trying to be all quiet, now I'm yelling. I'm like, no. First of all, you grown-ass man. I'm quiet because I don't have nothing else to say. You told me to get out the house. Okay. I went to my room. When he said that, I went to my room and I started packing. I kid you not. I started packing my stuff up. Because, threat who? Huh? I've been kicked out of better places. So I'm packing. He's just yelling at me. I'm like, bro. I'm like, okay, I don't want to hear it. He's like, no, you're gonna hear it. You're about to hear it. Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm cool. I'm cool. He's about to, so he goes on. This goes on for a little bit. I just ignore him. I close my door again. Close my door again. He pushes it back open, talking more stuff. I'm like, okay, I don't want to go back and forth with you, blah, blah, blah. At this point in time, I hear the other door down there. They close. They close the door. They're just letting him argue and yell at me. I'm like, okay, pussy. But whatever. That's neither here nor there. It wasn't their place to get into it, I guess, but should be weird. So whatever. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to go back and forth with you. Honestly, it's not worth it to me. So he starts to shower, like he's about to get in the shower. I close my door again. He's like, at this point, it's like he's kind of coming down. Once he seen me packing my stuff, it's like he tried bringing his like his tone down, and I guess like his anger down, but I don't know. So what happened? My door is open again, I think, and he sees me packing, and he's like, stop doing that. Put that away. You're not going nowhere. All I want you to do is apologize. And I'm like, I'm not apologizing to you. And that's another thing. He always did weird stuff, and he wanted me to apologize and make him feel better about himself. He's like, you're staying here. You barely paying rent. Yo, I didn't pay any rent there. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I didn't pay any rent. Me and the guys, we were cool. Like, when I moved in, before I moved into the house with them, I was about to sign my own lease, and they're like, you're about to start school, you know, help you out, blah, blah, blah. So I didn't pay rent. So I'm like, I offer to pay rent. I offer to buy groceries. I offer to do X, Y, and Z. You always say no. He's like, because I don't want that. We're supposed to be family. That was his whole thing. He felt like I should have cleaned the toilet up because I should have shown my appreciation and acted like family. I don't care about none of that. No. So he was just telling me, stop packing, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, whatever. I close my door. I lock my door. I pack up a little more. I go to sleep, okay? The next day, I'm on Facebook. I'm in this group in Arizona, and it's called Arizona Black Culture. I made a post in there. I'm like, hey, I need someone to help me move today. He told me I got out the house Friday. I packed my stuff, and I was out of there Saturday. I'm not playing with you. So I'm like, I need someone to come help me move this stuff out of here. I got me a storage room. Okay. This guy, we're gonna call him Keith or Sweat. Let's just call him Keith. Not his name, not his real name, nothing. So we're gonna call him Keith. So Keith texts me in the thingy. He's like, hey, I'm a mover. I have my own business. Let me help you out. I asked him his quote. His quote was the cheapest I seen out of all of them. So I'm like, of course, I'm about to go with you. It's like, he moved my first one like $165, I believe. And he moved like my flat screen TV at the time. I had my 75-inch. I had my king mattress. I had a desk and a few bags. He moved all of that, and he took it to my storage for me. He put it in there, and everything was cool. Keith was cool. You know, he was super nice or whatever. So that's it. That's how we met or whatever. So I paid him. Everything was good. I gave him a tip on top of that. I'm out doing my own thing. So this is not about how when I moved out. This is about Keith, okay? The time I met Keith, he was single. I mean, as far as I knew, he was single, wasn't married, anything like that. So after he had helped me move, he started texting me like, you are so beautiful. Because I kind of told him a little bit about what happened and why I was moving. So he was like, you are so beautiful. I would love to get to know you. Da, da, da. So I'm not gonna lie, I was low-key entertaining it, like, but not too much. I don't know, when I just be bored, I just be doing stuff. So like, I was like low-key entertaining it, but I knew I didn't want him like that. Especially when I seen him moving my stuff and he was dripping, drenched with sweat. I don't like that. I don't like no sweaty man. I'm sorry. So especially when I seen that, I already knew like this could never be my man. So I was low-key, I wouldn't say leading him on because we didn't talk every day. We wasn't ever talking like that. But yeah. So a few days go past and my roommates are calling me, texting me like, oh, we're sorry. My other roommate, he's like, I'm sorry, I don't know what happened, but just come back, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just like, ugh, I am in school. I am trying to, you know, get stuff together. Let me just go back. So I went back or whatever. Like literally 2 days later, I paid the dude Keith again to move me back in. He's like, but when I moved back in, I didn't take all my stuff, and that came back to bite me in the behind because I don't know where my stuff went. Oh, and it was my couch too. That was another thing. That was another freaking thing. When I moved in, they had my couch in the living room. Like they were using my couch, my table, and my stands for their gaming stuff out there. I took all of that shit. So when I came back, I didn't bring it back. So they were using their old couch and stuff like that. So where am I at? All right. So after this second move, he's like, man, I'm sorry you going through this or whatever. Like, let me know if you ever need anything. I would love to take you on a date. But then he starts like, not trauma dumping, but low-key trauma dumping. Because he was like, yeah, I'm just going through it. And I'm like, you okay? I just like asked you okay. Just give me a yes or no, but I'm just playing. But he just started trauma dumping. He's like, yeah, like I don't got no help. He has a daughter. He's like, I don't got no help. My family X, Y, and Z. Her mom is deceased. And I guess his daughter was also acting up because his daughter seen his mom die. Like the mom was shot in front of the daughter, I believe he told me. And he's just telling me all this, and I'm feeling bad, of course, but like there's nothing I can do. And he's telling me that he wants me to be his woman, and I'm thinking there like, you want me to be your woman and you want me to come deal with all this extra blah 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 blah. I didn't want that. I don't want those problems. I'm so sorry, y'all. If I already see that you're going through a lot, I'm not choosing you. I'm so sorry, I'm not choosing you. And I only say that because back in the day, I used to choose broken men a lot, and it didn't do anything but break me. So no. So I already was just not feeling any of that. So I just kind of left it like that. You know, he just will always text me every day talking about good morning, beautiful, just stuff like that. So he would text me all the time. Sometimes I respond. Most of the time though, I would not respond. I would just leave him undelivered, never respond. And he's one of those guys, like even if you don't text back, he'll still text you the next day. So that's just how it was. So I started texting him for treat. He would bring it to me. At first, he would like give me a few free nugs, and then I just started paying like for it because I was just like, whatever, he's bringing it to me. Okay. So yeah, that's another reason how we just started talking. And he just always would just be like, yeah, I want you so bad. But I didn't want him, especially when I would be on Facebook. I would see in the group a lot of the women had problems with him. Like they said that he was weird, creep, thief, like all type of crazy stuff. So I just didn't see him in that light, like at all. He just wasn't even my type either. So months go past, you know, after I moved out the house with my roommates, you know, even before I moved out the house with my roommates, I stopped texting him, asking him for tree and stuff like that because I just didn't need it or whatever. So months after I moved out, I tried to get him again to help me move into my new apartment, but he tried to charge me an arm and a leg, and I guess business was slow for him or something. But I am not about to make up for your lack of business. So I told him, hell no. So I ended up not going with him on that, right? So I'm scrolling through Facebook one day and I see he got married, and I'm like, Like, oh my gosh, congratulations to you. So I'm not no hater, of course. I said congratulations, you know, I love the picture. I went to his wife's page and I looked at her, you know, she was pretty, of course. I didn't think anything of it and I just went on about my life. That wasn't my man. We never did anything. We smoked together once or twice. Like, it was nothing. So I go about it, you know. Things are good, you know. I'm not really hearing from him. He would slide up here and there and he'll like say something like, hey beautiful, or something like that, but I just ignored it, right? Until I couldn't ignore it anymore. So as I'm going through on Facebook, mind you, this is kind of spread apart, but I would peep stuff. Him and his wife got into it a lot online. And when I say he really didn't even get into it with his wife, it was really his wife making all the posts. Let me see, because I have the messages. I would see him and his wife get into it all the time on Facebook. And she would always like say like sad stuff, low-key, like exposing him and stuff like that. But I was just like, I don't know. I don't know. And I guess before someone had came to her and told her like, hey, your husband is trying to get at me. And she didn't believe it. She believed her husband, right? Okay, cool. So this was recently. I made a post on Facebook and I was like, oh, something, I need a man or something like that. So he slides up and he's like, where's these messages? I actually have all the messages. So let me go to it. Okay. Oh, all our messages are gone. Good thing I screenshot it though. I just went to Messenger and they were all gone. Good thing I screenshot everything though. Because I knew I was going to tell a story time about this. So I was like, I got to keep it. Okay, shit, y'all. I don't have the messages. I don't have the messages. I thought I had them all. But that's okay. I don't have the messages, and I don't have the messages on Messenger either because I freaking uninstalled it. But anywho, he started texting me, and he slid up, and he's like, oh, I can be the man that you want. I'm like, boy, aren't you married? Like, I'm just, and I know y'all probably thinking like, oh, y'all, you shouldn't have even entertained it. But I'm like, I already knew in my head I was about to send it to her because he had already kept trying me before, and I'm just like, and even when he was trying me before, I wasn't going through with it because I seen that he was married. So I already knew in my head like I'm about to send this to her because mind you, it was the first day of school when he was texting me, and this woman took in his daughter. She took in his daughter. She takes care of her, and she had just posted his daughter 3 hours ago before he texted me. So I'm like, aren't you married? Like, what is you doing? He's like, I'm not married. What is you talking about? Mind you, this woman just posted your daughter for the first day of school with her daughter. So I'm like, what, y'all separated or something? He's like, yeah, we separated. He was like, I shouldn't marry you. You should marry who? He's like, I should have married you and I would have put a baby in you. I'm just thinking in my head, like, where is this coming from? Me and this man never had a sexual conversation, never talked about being together. Well, he talked about being with me, but I already told him, like, it seemed like you have a lot going on. I don't want that. Like, I told him straight up, like, no, I don't think it's going to work. But I told him, we both got a lot going on, so I don't think it's going to work. So I'm just thinking in my head, like, why would you say something like that? So I kind of like ignored him and brushed it off or whatever. So he texted me again. He was like, so you gonna let me do it? And I'm like, do what? He's like, put a baby in you and put a ring on you. I screenshot it and I sent it to his girlfriend. And she's like, oh, wow, really? Oh, wow, when was this? And I was like, this was just right now. I literally just screenshot it. So I screenshot all my messages so she could see, like, he's right under you, sis. So I screenshot and sent it to her. And she's like, oh, wow, that's crazy. He's sitting up here in my face right now. How bold is a nigga to be sitting in your house? But guys are so bold. I had this one ex and I was flying out to see him back in Ohio. The entire time I was there, I found this out at the end of my trip, but the entire time I was there, he was sliding up on girl stuff, texting the entire time. I'm probably laying next to this man, you know? So men definitely live double lives. So I'm like, yeah, girl. And she wanted to know more information, like, how did you know him, like how y'all meet each other, like. And I just told her, like, oh, he was just my mover guy, nothing like that. This weirdo, she gonna say something slick like, oh, this is so, she gonna say something like, first she was like, thank you so much, blah blah blah, and then she's like, you should probably just let him put a baby in you. I'm like, what the, why would you say that, girl? I'm like, no. I was like, he's crazy as hell. I was like, because she was like, why would he say that? I was like, I don't know. He's crazy as hell. That's why I blocked him as soon as he said that. And yeah, so she ended up revealing like, oh, yeah, I met him. He was my Uber driver. Now, I'm saying you can't fall in love with your Uber driver, but your Uber driver that you fell in love with, you took his daughter in and he moved into your house with you as well. I'm sorry, I couldn't go. I could not get down like that. And yeah, so I blocked him. The girlfriend, she texted me some more stuff. And yeah, she made all these posts on Facebook. But she wasn't kind of subbing me. She was more so subbing her man. Why 2 weeks later? Because she called me again like a few days later after that. And I didn't answer because she called me at 3 in the morning. Like, I don't know what the fuck you got going on, but no. No. So she called me and I didn't answer. I wonder if it was him calling me from her page while she was asleep. Do y'all? Because mind you, I had him blocked. I don't know. It's crazy. And then he gonna post on his page talking about some bitches always trying to mess up a happy home. Where is the happy? Where is the home? Like, what? So, But I went on her page a few weeks later and they're posted again. She's talking about some, my hubby did this, my hubby. I'm not a hater, y'all. I'm not a hater, but I would never feel bad for a woman who, and mind you, like I told y'all, someone else clearly came with her information before because she posted on her page like, oh, women are always trying to lie and da-da-da-da-da. So multiple women have came to you and told you about this man and you don't want to leave his side. So I can't feel bad for you. I won't feel bad for you. No, because you're choosing to be dumb. And I feel bad for her because she went and married this man. Like, they didn't even know each other for a long time. She went and married this man, her Uber driver, and now he's dogging you out and playing you in your own home. And she's just so in love and she just want to be loved so bad. It just sucks. But yes, that is my thing. That is my story time. I left some stuff out, y'all, because honestly, I thought I was gonna have all the messages and I wanted to read all the messages kind of low-key in depth, but I don't have them. So that's all I got for you guys. So thank you so much for watching my story time. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And they have this new feature. I don't know if you guys can see it or if I have it yet, but it's called Hype, and it basically lets you guys hype me up, and it basically just push my video out even more. So please hype me up. Also, I want to do subscriber story time. So if you have a story time that's wild, funny, or just something that you want to share, please send it to IndieListens@outlook.com and I will read it on my channel. So please, thank you guys so much. Bye.